Well, we often get asked whether or not there's a lack of technology in medicine. The truth is, there's plenty of technology. It's just not very useful all the time. The kind of technology we need is the kind of technology that is intuitive and that helps us make a good clinical decision for our patients.
One great example, I think, is the electronic medical records. If I see a patient that comes from a different hospital system, they use a different system, I have no access to the data.
We live a little bit in a bubble, and we don't really expand our vision as physicians in this technical field to incorporate what else there is in the world that might be able to help us, like AI and like mining electronic medical records, where I think there's a huge wealth of data that could be used to better direct our efforts.
At this point, I think most physicians would say that they spend at least as much time documenting as they spend with a patient, maybe more. So if more than 50% of your time goes into documenting, obviously you can't provide, I think, great care because you just don't have enough time and it's not reimbursed.
If we look at the requirements that are increasingly being placed upon hospitals and operators to submit data into national registries in order to, frankly, get reimbursed for those data sets or for the procedure, that becomes with an increasing burden to comply.
So that's, I think, one of the major obstacles that we all are facing and has decreased, I would say, the vast majority, if not all physicians' productivity. I think to have a virtual assistant would be, at least theoretically, very, very appealing.
The conversations you'll have during a case is being picked up and then subsequently transcribed into a report. It'll probably allow for a greater degree of accuracy of the report.
It would really streamline our ability, frankly, to gather the data in a timely fashion and in a more cost-effective fashion. We're trying to make certain that we are measuring our outcomes and identifying opportunities for improved patient care. So anything we can do, whether it's to improve the data that we get, increase the data we get, or analyze the data that we get, all those things accrue to the patient's benefit.
Another thing that limits technology in the cath lab is the user interface. It's so important when you have a device that you be able to control that device. So if the physician can operate the information, that's really, really critical. But the problem is, then you need a user interface, you need a joystick, you need a mouse, you need some sort of a touchpad. And again, the real estate is so critical. It's worse than Rodeo Drive. You can't fit anything else on the cath lab table. We need systems that are not only wireless, but have voice recognition enabled. We need a system which allows all the variables that are occurring during the procedure in real time to be entered into the electronic record. It's got to happen. And I think Xenter's got a great solution, being able to acquire that information in real time during the procedure, and then being able to transmit that directly into electronic record, of course with human oversight. This will become a seamless and intuitive way of doing business.